York Times on Tuesday releases an editorial calling on the International Criminal Court to promptly probe the killings in the Duterte administration's war on drugs. This, a day after Filipino lawyer Jude Sabio filed a complaint before the ICC accusing Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte and 11 other officials of mass murder. The New York Times editorial board, in its piece, "Let the World Condemn Duterte," says watchdogs such as Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International and Filipino politicians have already accused Duterte of mass killings. ICC Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda in October said the court was closely following Philippine developments. Calling Duterte the man who must be stopped, the op-ed says the ICC should go after Duterte because, quote, "there is already more than enough evidence for a preliminary investigation, which would send an unmistakable signal to Mr. Duterte that he may eventually have to answer for his crimes." It adds this would encourage governments to take measures against him, such as imposing tariffs on Philippine goods. The Senate minority bloc plans to ask the court to allow detained Senator Leila de Lima to go to the Senate and vote on critical measures. Senate Minority Leader Frank Drilon on Wednesday says de Lima should be allowed to do so, citing the court's approval of former Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Bong Revilla's furlough requests. Drilon says de Lima is not suspended from office and is only physically barred from going to the Senate. The entire minority bloc is against the reimposition of death penalty, one of the priority bills of the Duterte administration. The Senate minority also opposes the move to amend the 1987 Constitution and the measure seeking the postponement of the local elections so President Rodrigo Duterte could appoint officers in charge. De Lima, the fiercest critic of Duterte, is detained in Camp Crame for her alleged connection to illegal drugs. The United States vows Wednesday to step up sanctions to force North Korea to resume dialogue over its nuclear program. Top U.S. officials also say President Donald Trump aims to pursue diplomatic measures with allies and regional partners. In a joint statement, Defense Chief Jim Mattis, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, and National Intelligence Director Dan Coats say, quote, "We are engaging responsible members of the international community to increase pressure on North Korea in order to convince the regime to de-escalate and return to the path of dialogue." U.S. Pacific Command Chief Harry Harris adds, quote, "All options are on the table. We want to bring Kim Jong-un to his senses, not to his knees." During a White House luncheon with United Nations Security Council ambassadors Monday, a senior diplomat who asked not to be named says Trump was very clear that he will be the president who will deal with North Korea. He says, quote, "Ideally, we do this peacefully and politically, which means through China. But if that doesn't work, there is another plan, which is through the United States."